Hello everybody, it's time, it's here. Samsung have finally released their newest flagship phones. Now, as we know, at the back end of last year, Samsung hit a small bump in the road, a little hiccup in its manufacturing process with the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. I think we know how all that ended up. So it'll be interesting to see whether Samsung have had time to really innovate and develop a brand new smartphone, which will be the king of 2017. Let's step straight into my first impressions with the Samsung Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus and find out. The obvious place to start with my first impressions is the way that the phone feels in the hand, the way it looks, the way you interact with it. Now, what Samsung have done, and I'm fairly sure they've done this on purpose to try and get everyone to stop thinking about the Note 7 and move past it. This is clearly where Samsung have focused their efforts. This is where the innovation has come. They've looked at the Samsung S7 Edge, they've looked at the Note 7, and they've looked at their previous Edge model phones. And what they've come up with is the evolution of that. This is the S8 and the S8 Plus. Both of them have dual edge screens. Both of them have this infinity display, which effectively shows off the fact that the phone is basically an entire display nowadays. You're looking at around 84% screen to body ratio. On the S8, you're getting a 5.8 inch screen. On the S8 Plus, you're getting a 6.2 inch screen. That's insane. Can you remember the Nexus 6 when that came? The Motorola Nexus 6 when that came out? That had a 6 inch screen. You remember how big that was? I mean, I'm not kidding. That was a big ass phone. The Alcatel Pixie 6 inch. Think about that phone right now. If you're looking at the lower end budget phones, that thing's huge. And this thing has got a bigger screen than it. Sorry, I've gone high. I get excited when I talk about this sort of stuff. Let's get back to it. So, I mean, the way the phone feels, it's got the glass back and the glass front, beautiful curved edges. The screen effectively melts away from the phone on the sides. The phone is incredibly thin, and this is from someone coming from an iPhone 7 Plus. That's been my main daily driver for the last 6 months or so, however long the 7 Plus has been out. This phone, Apple have always been known for their build quality, and it looks like a free premium phone. It feels like a premium phone. If I'm honest, Samsung have now got that title. This phone is it's fantastic. It just feels solid, feels well made. The only design gripe that I can have with it really is the fingerprint sensor that is on the back of the phone. It's an oddly placed fingerprint sensor, but obviously because they've had to get rid of the home screen button off the front, they've had to move the fingerprint sensor to the back. And obviously Samsung at this point, they've reintroduced from the Note 7 the iris scanning and the face unlock, which works pretty well, but I'd still prefer to be using the fingerprint sensor. On the S8, what I'll say about that, the fingerprint sensor is a lot easier to use for someone with my size hands, say girly size hands, compared to the S8 Plus, where actually my normal finger resting place is just sort of below the fingerprint sensor. You might not be able to see it on this one because it's a black phone. There's the fingerprint sensor. This is where I'd normally hold my phone. On the back of build quality, I thought I'd give you a quick comparison of the size of these phones. Let's have a look at it in comparison with phones that other customers and people like yourself are going to want to buy instead of the S8 or the S8 Plus. So first up, this is the S8, this is the S8 Plus, if you couldn't tell. There's not a huge size difference in themselves, but this one's got a 5.8 inch screen, and this one's got a 6.2 inch screen. That's a huge amount of extra screen space. It's fantastic. Let's put it up against the new LG G6, which has actually got a 5.7 inch screen. So this screen is we say 0.1 inch smaller than the S8, than this one here. The phone is, you can sort of noticeably see, a fair bit wider, and maybe a smidge taller than the S8. It's clearly obviously smaller than the S8 Plus, but the screen size is obviously quite a lot smaller. So in comparison, the S8 and the G6, the S8 you're getting a thinner phone, you're getting more screen space in the same space, effectively. Now while we're there, let's briefly throw my iPhone 7 Plus, which I've been using since it was released by iPhone last year. By Apple. And we can see here, in comparison with the other ones, that actually my iPhone 7 Plus is as big, if not bigger, to hold in your hand at the very least, than the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. But the screen, oh my god, so much smaller. So on your iPhone 7 Plus, it's a 5.5 inch screen, 6.2 inch screen, 5.7 inch screen, 5.8 inch screen. So this S8 has a bigger screen than my iPhone. But look at the space around here. Look at this. Now we all know specifications aren't everything when it comes to smartphone these days. Just look at Apple and see what they do with relatively low specs compared to every other phone on the market. But Samsung really have managed to pack a huge amount of power into both of these smartphones. So it'd be rude not to take a little peek under the hood. So as you can see, the specifications for both phones are very, very similar. They've both got Quad HD Plus AMOLED displays. I mean, who does AMOLED displays better than Samsung? Nobody. They've both got the octa-core processor. They've both got a 12 megapixel rear-facing camera and an 8 megapixel front-facing camera. They've both got 4 gig of RAM and 64 gig of internal storage. And yes, you can put a micro SD card in there to expand that storage. They both come with Android 7.0 right out of the box. They're both IP68 weather certified, so water resistance up to 1.5 meters for up to 30 meters. 30 meters? No, 30 minutes. They both come with wireless charging, although a bit pointless. They both come with, well, here we go, key difference. So the S8 Plus comes with a 3,500 milliamp battery. The S8, that comes with a 3,000 milliamp battery. So what you're seeing there is actually the phones are basically identical. You're getting a bigger battery in the S8 Plus and a smaller battery in the S8, but for the trade-off, you're getting a bigger screen. But other than that, it works exactly the same. They've got all exactly the same specifications. So, we've looked at the build quality of this phone. We've looked at the screen. We've compared the size. We've looked at the specifications. And seriously, on the surface of it, this phone, it just looks amazing. Samsung, well done. But stop, wait, no. Over the next week or so, I'll be digging deeper into this phone. I'll be making more videos. And we'll find out if it really lives up to the hype. It looks like an amazing phone, it feels like an amazing phone. But does it work like an amazing phone? A couple more videos that I'll be bringing out soon, guys, on the channel. Will be looking more in depth, a more in-depth review of the S8 once I've used it. A more in-depth look at the software, including the brand new Samsung Bixby Assistant, which Samsung are shoving down your throat. By the way, you can still use the Google Now. Pointless. Oh well. And there'll be plenty of more videos. So make sure you hit subscribe, like the video, check the description underneath for any links that you want, or whether you want to be able to buy the phone, whatever, and share. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.